Hello and welcome to An Ink We Trust, Tattoo in Our Culture in San Fernando Valley. This is bringing you the latest to who is making a mark in the Valley tattoo scene. Bringing the tattoo parlor to you, I am your host, Anthony Sanchez. Today we're going to talk to Marco Antonio from Nathan's Tattoo and Piercings in Canoga Park. Thanks for coming by the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Great. And I know your shop's, we've had a few guests from, or people from your shop before in the past here at KPC Radio.
No, I think I'm the first.
You're the first? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the first.
The only.
I'm the only.
You're the only person at the shop.
I'm
It's named after Nathan.
Well, he pierces. He's that guy. He's over there stabbing people.
Does he show up like once an hour and then he's done?
Oh, he's like a rock star. He comes in with a little cape on, a little monocle. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, the Elvis music, da, 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 you know, as soon as he's done, someone puts the cape on him and walks him out the back.
Is he like, I don't know if you know Sailor Moon, there's the meme about Tuxedo Mask. And he goes, my work here is done.
It's done, yeah.
And she's like, you didn't do anything.
Yeah,
No, I'm not hating on Nathan. I don't even know him.
no, actually, to be honest with you, he's probably one of the hardest working piercers I've met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had the shop for close to 20 years.
Right.
So he's definitely established and works 4 days full time. I'm just the guys wrangling the inmates in the back, the monkeys in the back, if you will. So I'm in charge of the tattoo artist.
You're like the shop manager? Is that a title? Not necessarily.
It is. It's a little bit different in tattooing. A shop manager is actually somebody who takes care of the shop. What I mean by that is somebody who more of a shop assistant. So like shop manager in tattooing is somebody who answers the phones, does the scheduling, kind of cleans up and so on and so forth. It manages the actual workings and progression of the shop per day. Then you have like the owner, the general manager, if you're that big of a shop, and then for myself, I'm the artist manager. This would be my quote unquote official title. So I am in charge, quote unquote, of the. I'm using quote unquote a lot, but anyways, randomly.
At least you're not going air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes. I'm like, oh, Marco, this is the podcast. It is. You're right. Yes. No one's watching this. Yes.
That's a point of contention here because it's technically internet radio, but everyone's like the shift now is everybody is podcast. So it is a podcast for all intents and purposes.
Podcasts are huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
I visited a couple of shops. I was telling you a little earlier. I visited a couple of shops where they were not listening to music. They were tattooing, listening to podcasts. Call me old school, but I'm just like, I can't get in a groove of a podcast.
Yeah, I could, but then not everyone has the same taste in podcasts because
that's true.
Podcasts are very niche, like I was saying earlier.
Absolutely.
So, like, if you're like, oh, I only listen to murder mystery, real life things, and you're like, well, but I like the comedy, the improv comedy ones, and you know.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm like you, but yeah, if somebody's like, hey, can we listen to a horror story podcast? I'm like, no, and I'm gonna be tattooing a bunch of Disney tattoos. No.
A 3-hour Greek history podcast,
yeah, exactly.
Which I'm totally down for, but when I'm getting a tattoo.
No, I'm not. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to feel like I'm cramming for a test the next day while I'm at work.
Tell us about your podcast that you used to have.
It was. Can I mention the name?
Yeah, you can talk about anything here.
It's called the Manstalgia podcast, and basically is myself and 2 guys that I went to high school with. So we all graduated high school mid 90s, and what we do is we talk about. I don't know necessarily how things are relevant now. It's kind of like how our generation views or sees things that are happening now, and then we just do a comparison, like not in the old salty guy in the in the porch shaking his fist, get off my lawn kind of way, but it's just like, well, not so much in the back of my day, but so much, well, back in our day, we were doing this and this and this, and you guys are crazy because I don't know where this started to come in. So it's more based on that. A lot of topical topics, but a lot of more comparison to. How people are addressing things now versus like how we used to essentially drink out of a drink out of a garden hose, and play on a rusty, some rusty ladders. And
I actually just Googled that. Is it safe to drink out of a garden hose? Like I did it, but I was kind of curious in hindsight.
Build character.
Yeah, I mean, even with I don't want to get into anti-vaxxing, but like it's just weird how we have. I met a girl in another class here on campus on Monday, and she doesn't cook chicken because her dad scared the crap out of her about for salmonella. And I was like, do you have a meat thermometer? All you need is a meat thermometer,
that's it.
And you can cook chicken.
Just I'm going to give you just a little hint in life if you're listening. Just make sure it's not pink in the middle. That's it. Goal achieved. Done. Just keep cooking it until it's not
It's
pink in
too
the middle.
early in the morning for me to follow up on that, but
Oh, I walked into that one. Oh, fantastic.
So segue to something more wholesome. Are you excited about Frozen 2? There's no right or wrong answer. Maybe there is.
It's funny. I don't know if you researched like what primarily what I do, which is a bunch of Disney tattoos and animation tattoos. No, I'm not. No, Frozen didn't really.
It didn't resonate.
No, it just didn't hit a good chord with me. No.
What was your favorite Disney film then? Or Pixar as well?
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I saw it once, and I don't know. I guess I'm weird. I was like, a rat in the kitchen? I think that was the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Well, yeah.
Anyone can cook.
Well, I mean, they should have said it in New York. I would have believed it.
I guess Chicago had a big old rat there. So I guess
Yeah.
Rats in the kitchen. Like, oh, you duh.
Yeah. I'm not anti-rat. I grew up on Five Goes West and
Right,
all those movies.
Yeah, no, as far as the modern ones, I guess, Ratatouille would be one of my favorites.
Okay. What about it, like, is great about it to you? Is it the animation, the story?
It's a little, the animation's fun. The fact that it's based on, I guess.
What is it based on?
Well, it's kind of simple. Disney, like the Disney National Film Studio, it's Once Upon a Time, where Pixar is, what if? You know, imagine if this was to happen. So I like it's not whimsical, it's not the right word, but I like the kind of carefree approach. Is like this little rat that winds up understanding that he's a little bit different as far as food is concerned, and maybe it's just because I'm a fat guy. It has to do with a lot of food.
No, we call them foodies, and we call them full figured now. Thanks to Lizzo.
No,
we are very body positive now.
No,
if we're gonna get into like
no.
No.
First and foremost, I'm a fat guy, and I can use that word. I can drop that F word because I'm a fat guy. Yeah, so. You can't say that. You can't use our word. That's our word.
We can't call you fat, but you can call yourself fat.
Absolutely.
Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, that's how it breaks down nowadays, right? Like, you can call yourself whatever you are, but if anyone else calls you that, now you're like, whoa.
True.
Whoa, buddy.
Well, I mean, yeah, the gay guy F word, yeah, it kind of is probably in the same thing.
Like, and yet I have clients and really, really good friends that will just drop that, like, left and right, blah, 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 and I'm like, whoa. Then I say, they're like, whoa, Marco. I'm like, you're so insensitive. Like, did you not just use that word like 50 times yourself? I can't use it. No, you can't use it. So I'm taking fat. So if everyone's able to take all their words, I'm taking fat.
You're reclaiming fat.
That's it. That's it. If you're thin, you're like, hey, fat guy. I'm like, whoa, did you just call me fatty? Whoa, just listen. Just because I have a box of ho-hos underneath my arm here and a 2 liter of Coke that I'll finish in about 5 seconds does not mean you can call me fat.
Honestly, I would have more soda and sweets if it didn't give me like a sugar high, and then I would just like crash.
Yeah, it's funny thing is actually I don't drink soda, but
okay,
it's funny. No, but I am having a Snapple, and that's full of sugar. So
yeah,
I got a fat life, you know. I don't think I've ever told you, but on my knuckles I want tattooed more cake.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'd like that.
Yeah.
And would one of your hand tattoos be a cake?
No.
Or like a pie?
That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much.
Too far.
I may have a slice of pizza somewhere in my body already, though. I'm just saying. Maybe plans for a taco.
I think I saw somebody had like a slice of something on there. I don't know.
I've done it. I've done sugar and sweets sleeves and like cupcakes, plenty of cupcakes and so on and so forth. And every time I do one, it makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dedicated, honestly. Yeah. I know that you do have kids, so what are they watching?
My son Remy, which is, if you got that Ratatouille reference right there, my son's name is Remy. Anyways, my son, he is 3. He is watching a lot of Toy Story, and that's not. It's just because of the commercials, not because I'm a big Disney guy, so therefore I'm playing a bunch of Disney for him. I actually play a lot of baby first stuff for him and a lot of like educational stuff, but whenever he's a commercial for, he just picked up and gravitated towards it, so he's watching, and the Lorax. He randomly calls it orange every morning. He wakes up, hey Bubba, how are you? How'd you sleep? Orange. I'm like,
he was dreaming of orange?
Okay. You want orange? Orange. Milk, please. Orange. I'm like, okay. So he loves the Lorax right now.
Nice.
And my daughter, she's Sloan. She's 10, and she loves Elmo.
Okay.
And that's about the only thing. It's just the very fast moving characters, but she's too little, so we do have a lot of interaction.
Nothing that like particularly annoys you to play then, because every now and then the kid gets into something.
Oh
that
my
you're
God!
Like,
Well, when he's asking for Woody or Buzz, so when he asks for Toy Story like 10 times in a row, 10 times is a little bit much, but he will ask like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Right.
We run through all the movies and got on a Sunday, and then he's like, Buzz. I'm like, what more? There is no more Buzz. They only made 4 movies.
There's 4 movies. That's more than I had, kid.
Yeah, exactly. There's 4 movies and a Halloween special. There is no more Buzz. That's it. This is done.
And I heard the 4th one was not very good, but I haven't seen it.
It was super adult.
Was it?
Super, super, super adult. I mean, like like what happened to them and all the actual. What is happening over there? It's like a paparazzi moment.
It's the way people are nowadays. They're snapping pictures in the studio.
I've seen memes and we got peace sign from across the glass. All right, sounds good.
Well, it's the other way, which is the British, the bad thing.
Oh,
right?
the FU? Yeah. All right, I see that.
I think it's up yours. Is technically what it means.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is it like a U being flipped up? Is that what it is? Yeah. No. Anyways, the 4th one, which is if you ever watch it, it's like super slow paced and very, very much deals with abandonment and moving on and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like
wow.
We're like, whoa, this is wrapped.
Really, they were like
as a kids movie.
They got away with the what was it, the emotion one? I can't remember
Inside Out.
Inside Out, which was great, but like maybe the Pixar was like, we can dig deeper into this. Let's go dark.
Well, then the opening of Up. I mean, Up opens and immediately you're like, okay, now I'm crying.
I love that movie, but what I figured out is if you just jump from that other chapter, you're good.
As soon as that house takes off with the balloons, you're good.
Right.
You're good.
Yeah.
And then don't watch the end of Coco.
Oh, really? I like the end of Coco.
Where
I'm actually kind of... I might go to the bowl to see the sing-along.
If you get a chance to go to the El Capitan, I think they're having it right now.
Okay.
For Halloween, and they have like the whole mariachis playing and everything. It's
nice.
really, really cool. And it's at the end when everything kind of wraps up and he puts Mama Coco's picture on the ofrenda. So yeah, we saw it in El Capitan for the kind of release of it, and you just heard a bunch of people sniffling, and I couldn't help myself to say, okay, someone's chopping onions over here.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm in the kitchen right now chopping onions. Leave me alone.
Is that something you grew up with at all? Dave,
yeah. So I'm South American. I'm originally from Maracaibo, Venezuela.
Were you born there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Maracaibo. Came up here when I was almost 11, just shy of 11.
You might be the nicest Venezuelan I've met so far.
A lot of rude Venezuelans?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so far. But
right.
I don't know. I'm not saying they all are.
No, of course. Your personal experiences with...
Is that how we do it? Allegedly?
Allegedly. Will lead you to believe that the Venezuelans that you came across have been rude. Most of the Venezuelans I know a lot of Venezuelans, but we're boisterous people. We're loud. We're definitely loud, fast talking. But I mean, I guess anybody can be rude. I don't know what to say about that. Like,
you don't have to say anything.
I would like to
it.
apologize for my people as a whole here.
Here, let me qualify gay Venezuelans.
I don't think I know one
any?
No, I don't think I know one gay.
There are none.
No, I'm sure. Oh no,
it's a myth.
I am so sorry. I take that back, and this is going to be so effed up. Yeah, I actually do know a gay Venezuelan, and she is very, very, very close to me. So I apologize to her because she will be listening to this, and I will get a text
I apologize to her too.
And a DM and everything, and she is a sweetheart. It could be because of, not to get too political, whatever, but it could be because of the just negativity of being gay in that kind of country.
Yeah, I heard it was really harsh there.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. From the personal accounts that I have been given, it's not accepting, non-brutal. We had the opportunity. She came my wedding, for my wife's and I's wedding. And the day before she left, we had the opportunity to take her to West Hollywood. We actually had some friends of ours reserved a couple tables, and we know a bunch of gay couples, so we actually went to the Abbey. So like, if you know LA and
LA and the Abbey. If you know
LA and you know WeHo and you know the Abbey, that is like the Mecca. So we took her there, and she's just like crying. She's like,
really?
She's like, well, the amount of just acceptance, like you walk across the street and like the signs on the floor, the little stripes on the floor actually are all rainbow colored. You know? So coming from a place where it's so oppressed, you don't talk about it. If you are, people know, but then you're not out boisterous about it. You're not allowed. You will get hit up in the middle of the street for it. So coming from that and seeing that and just watching her like experience that through her eyes, it's like it's almost like you get bored or tired of something, because living in Los Angeles, we see things often like, the Hollywood sign, whatever, the Tower Records building, whatever, the Hollywood Walk, whatever. Like for us, we're walking down Hollywood Boulevard. Oh, look, there's a homeless guy that's naked and passed out on the ground. Great. But for somebody visiting Los Angeles for the first time, they're like, oh wow, look at all the look, all the names on the on the floor, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that's a cool thing that you don't have.
Yeah. You're like, with that coffee spilled in it, I could barely read what the name on it.
Exactly. I'm like, well, with that crackhead laying across it, you can't really read that name. What's that?
Just pick up the rock for him so you can read the rest of that thing.
Hey, I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to move your glass pipe out of the way, just so I can read this name, so my kids can take a picture of this name real quick.
I mean, nothing compared to Trump's. They keep vandalizing his, right?
Jesus, man. I'm just there are other constructive things that you can do with your energy. Now, I'm not saying pro or for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying pro or against. Pro or against. I'm not saying I'm pro or against. That doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to do something, if you're going to like put energy towards, why don't you put energy towards something that actually is going to help? It's like or something that's going to aid your cause, whichever way it is. Whichever, for or against, whatever he stands for, believe against. I'm staying very neutral. I'm not going to give my opinion.
I feel like when you're in LA and California, they're not going to stay on this too long, but it's good. I feel like the act of living in California is enough to piss him off, so you don't really have to do anything else.
He hates us. Oh man, I know. And here's the thing. I know, like heavy, like super heavy, like pro Trump guys that are actually friends of mine. Like and we get into like open discussions, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. You live in California, so he hates you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like, you are the devil. I don't care. I don't care how you voted. I don't care what you do. I don't care like what you're pro what. You are the devil to him. So
I mean, if anyone asks me like 20 years from now, it'll be like some of my favorite. Not favorite, but most interesting thing is like when I'm at the gym, there's a lot of like guys in their 60s retired. No, maybe not 60s, 70s, right? See, retiring way later. Like standing at the gym naked, debating, the whole thing, and you're just like, really?
I'd be like, why are you in the gym naked debating?
Well, in the locker room.
Great.
Put a towel on.
I'm in the locker room. I'm trying to get in and out of something as much as humanly possible. I mean,
I agreed.
Yeah, I'm just like, get it, do your business, quote unquote. Like, you get in, you shower, or if you're gonna shower, change, get out.
I'm guessing they got so passionate that they just like they never bothered to finish putting on their clothes.
Listen, I'm never passionate enough on any subject to stand there butt naked, sweating, having an argument with another grown ass man that I don't know. Am I allowed to say the ASS word?
Yes, we're on the same page, because that's how I feel about it. I'm like, I would be like, hold on 1 second, let me finish putting on my clothes and let's meet outside and talk about it.
How about we talk outside? Just, and I don't mean like let's go outside to fisticuffs, to fisticuffs, if you will. I'm just saying we can have this discussion openly, just not naked and sweaty, because I feel at that point we're gonna do like some old school Greco-Roman wrestling or something, That
could be its own podcast, though. Naked and Sweaty podcast.
The Naked and Sweaty podcast. Welcome to the Naked and Sweaty podcast. Today we're gonna break down how you should discuss things at the gym.
No, I'm just thinking all the guests are naked and it's like a sauna or something.
I'm out.
Oh no, I'm not doing it.
I'm out.
There's a lot of I think clothes is a great invention. There's a lot of people who just need to be clothed.
Oh, you mean being one of them? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel that being able to walk around shirtless is a privilege, not a right. And I do not have that privilge.
We're going down all these
I'm good with that.
If we were national, we would be at it on Instagram and Twitter all the time.
Tweet it away, and I'll show you a picture of me standing next to. Look, next. I'm gonna be serious right now. You guys can't see us right now. Next to
Wait,
Anthony.
we're not serious?
No. I'm being look. Hold on. If you stand us together, we're like the number 10. You look like the one and like the 0. You had this guy over here that's tall, and obviously he's talking about going to the gym, and you're thin, and I'm like the big guy. I'm like like Lauren Hardy. I'm just saying, there's one of them has to be one. I'm the other one.
It's funny because with my dad, all my brothers are bigger than me, and my dad's like, "How much do you weigh? Or did you put on any weight? Your aunt thinks you're skinny." I'm like, and it's like a Mexican American, just like you're not,
Oh, that's all Hispanic, man. I get that all the time. My dad's like, "Hey, are you still fat?" Like, wow, hi. Listen, you are. Let me get. That's how you live in an oppressed. Like he lives in Venezuela still.
Oh, okay.
He moved back. So right now everything's going on that's really 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 bad. It's unsafe, and he fires off with hey, I just want to let you know that I'm safe. I want to let you know that everything's good. We have food this week. Hey, how's your weight doing? That's what we're choosing to talk about right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. No, Dad, I'm good. I'm going to the gym when I go to the gym, I drive by things and I lift cupcakes into my mouth to make other people jealous.
Let's talk a little bit about. I know your shop just did a Tim Burton show. How did that go?
Actually, amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, we only had a couple woo girls.
Woo girl.
Yeah.
Were you guys serving alcohol?
Yeah, we
were.
Is
that why?
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
Yeah. We had some spirits that were sponsored.
Plus, you never know how much people have been drinking before they got there.
Oh, people were definitely pregame. People stumbling, people stumbling in the middle. And I mean, only a couple. This wasn't like a drunken debauchery. The art show went actually really, really good. It was a celebration for 25 years of Nathan being in business. Mm-hmm. We had 38 artists. We had 40 pieces of art, food trucks, bands. We had a lowrider show in the back. We had a fashion show as well. So we had DJs inside. Food.
What food trucks were there?
We actually had to cut it down. We had 3 of them lined up, and we felt really bad because we had to cut it down to 1. We had this one. It was a fish taco truck, and all they specialized in was deep fried goodness of fish tacos. If they were phenomenal.
I love fish tacos.
Oh God, yes.
We could just go down that.
Grilled or fried?
Grilled. No, fried.
Oh, I was
fried.
gonna say, I'm like
Baja style.
Thank you. I was gonna say you are a
fried
pineapple on pizza kind of guy.
Fried? No, I don't like pineapple.
I like a grilled fish taco. Get out of here.
Well, I mean,
it
could, but then it's just like salmon in a tortilla.
That's
which
what I'm saying.
Is like what?
It reminds me. It's like lunch, like a counter fish. The thing is just sitting there, like its own juice is swimming. You're like, I don't want that in my tortilla. I'm just saying.
The place back in San Gabriel Valley where I'm from that I always eat at when I'm visiting Senior Baja, which was Taco Nazo, they do the Baja style with a little bit of like crema, which is like a mayonnaise thing, absolutely. And then some cabbage and like diced tomatoes usually.
You're
and then
dirty to me right now. next time you gotta say it slow. You gotta
say it slower.
You gotta describe it like, first we stand off with 2 homemade tortillas.
It's like an ASMR almost, huh?
That would deep fry that fish to perfection.
It's crispy. There's like at least 8 to 10 out there between the IE and Glendora, out to Rancho and beyond, and they all do this similar. Their franchise, a similar recipe. I don't know why. I'm acting as though they're going to sponsor me.
They may after this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Hey, listen, no money, just send some tacos.
Exactly, just send some tacos. Each one kind of has like me and my mom always kind of like, okay, let's go to the one in Upland. Let's go to the one in Rancho. We try the different ones.
A little bit different.
Just a little bit, just like I think the one in Upland does more crema.
Okay.
Then the Rancho has a more crispier.
Gotcha. So if you're feeling more crema that day, then you're gonna go to Upland. All right.
I could tell you my limit before I start feeling sick of tacos, especially on Taco Tuesday, is 5.
That's deep. Oh wait, deep fried fish tacos?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Right?
With the batter and everything?
I found out too hard, but I was like,
No. I'm 2 halfway on the third one, 2.5, and I'm good.
Really?
I mean, they have to be like good size though. Like if you have
Yeah.
The little,
No, but they're
there's
not-
like regular tacos, and there's like think about like
Well,
non-fish
here in LA,
tacos.
they're stingy. They'll just put here's a little bit of,
No.
when I go to Chipotle, I ask for double chicken, for example.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You're deep in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's same thing when you get a good taco truck. You get a good taco truck, you look at like how that man's shaving out that pastor,
Right.
right? And you're like, hey, keep going, dude.
If the
One more
meat's
swipe.
not falling out of the tortilla,
Yeah.
like
You're effing up.
what are you making me?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right.
No, that's you're being stingy.
Yeah. So that we're not talking about tattoo yet. We don't have to. I've been telling my friends. They're like, well, I don't want to get a tattoo. Why am I going to listen to your show? I was like, people who tattoo do other things.
People are people. So far, we've talked about a lot of food, a lot of fatness, some gym stuff, and like a lot more food and life. So
Thanks. You already wrote my show notes for me. We're done. I go just walk away. How did you get into tattoo?
Oh man, that's a good story for another day. No,
You're like, I'm not here to talk about that.
so in advisement of my lawyer, I
Your lawyer.
declined to answer that statement. It was actually weird. I was doing music. When I say I was doing music, I was actually doing some studio work, and so I was doing some recording work and a lot of live gigs. And I was getting tired of the smoke. A lot of smoke and mirrors, right? So a lot of smoke and
Oh, I
mirrors.
thought you meant like literally smoke in the club.
No. Yeah, that too. No. I got tired of all the smoke and mirrors, all the empty promises, so on and so forth. And I was like, I want to do something else. Like, I've always been artistic. I want to do something else. And I thought about going into animation for a moment. But my brother is actually an animator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he. Oh no, he was for many years now. He works in video games. But nevertheless, I didn't want to do the whole like, I'm going to follow my brother's footsteps, because it was always F him kind of situation. So like, well, he's doing that, so I'm going to do this. So like, he doesn't play music, so I'm going to go play music. So, and like I said, I had a great run of music and had a lot of time, a lot of great shows, opening up for a lot of really cool bands. But that started to come to an end. My shoulders weren't. I was a drummer. The shoulders weren't the same after years of playing. And I wanted to do something else, and I was a little lost. And I've always drawn. I've always kept myself active in drawing and painting. And it was an ex. It was an ex of mine that managed a sports bar. She was a general manager of a sports bar in Northridge, just no longer there. But she was friends with the guys from the local tattoo shop that used to come down. And she saw me drawing one day, just to get something artistic going. She said, "Have you ever considered, being a tattoo artist?" And I said, "You know what? I thought about it years ago, but I kind of put it behind the burner because, started doing more and more musically." So when I finally said that's not what I'm going to do anymore, she said it again. She's like, "Have you considered, ever doing tattooing? Those guys always seem to have fun and they seem to do pretty well for themselves." So you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. So while I figured it out, I got a job at the same bar, bouncing. Thus, I met the guys from the local tattoo shop. On a personal day, I used to come in and drink, and I used to, take care of them, talk to them, chit chat with them, and joke around with them. Not that it was about food or Disney, and I wanted just one day. I said, "Hey, I think I want to apprentice. Have you guys considered, are you guys taking an apprenticeship, or how to go about that?" And they said, "Well, we didn't even know you drew. Can you bring in some drawings next time we come in, like next week, so we can kind of take a look at where you're at?" So I said, "Okay." Now, because of my brother, and then I'd done some freelance work, I had a background in drawing as well. So I put an actual portfolio together, and I presented it to them, and they all said, "Well, you can really draw. I think it'd be kind of cool if we, kind of brought you in, talk to you, and see how it would work out for you." And as I say, the day is, I'm sorry, the rest is history, but. Yeah, they took me on. It was pretty cool. I went over there to the shop. I met with the owner and I met with the artist, and they all looked at my portfolio and they all said, "Yeah, you can really draw. We think you can actually make a really good run at this." And I had no idea. I didn't know what a run was. I didn't know. How to get started, what it's going to involve. I just knew that I was reinventing myself, and then I had to suck it up and be humble. That I was going to be an apprentice. I knew what being an apprentice at other things meant, so I knew that it was kind of time to just buckle down, and these guys were giving me a career, so don't lip up. But I was also at that time already 30 years old. So I was not coming in as an 18-year-old punk kid like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm going to do this. I know the world. It's one of those like, I want to get this done. What do I need to do in order, to progress to make myself into a tattoo artist? And I was very lucky. The two primary mentors that I had was this guy, Dorin. He's from Romania. He went back to Romania. And the other one is Stan Gunn, local guy. He does a lot of black and gray work. So I had one that specializes in color work and Japanese work and American traditional work, and the other one that did black and gray realism. So I got teachings of the best of both worlds from really solid, like super, super solid artists. And they both recognized right away that I wasn't a punk kid trying to just, come out of like a punk scene or be like the cool guy in my group that, that draws. That I was already a grown ass man that already had done other things with my life, that had a day job. I wasn't trying to rush to this in order to pay my bills. I had a day job that I kept through my entire apprenticeship. So I can, pay for my bills and just come there after work, and I would go there and learn from them. And they realized very quickly that I did not need to be taught how to draw, that I didn't need to sit and trace, flash from the walls or do that stuff, that I was already developing my own art style. And they went ahead and just helped me to learn the execution aspect of tattooing, and thus I burned through my apprenticeship in like 9 months.
Nice.
So
do you recommend having like a day job to support you during your internship?
I do. So I just finished apprenticing a young gal by the name of Trina Liz. And when we first started off, I recommended right away that for two things. So she started young with me. She started at 18 years old. She started apprenticing under me. I saw a little bit of me and her. I said, I think you can make a, same thing. I said, it's funny enough. I said, I think you can make a run at this. And she said, I don't think I know what that means. And I said, I didn't either. So, but I recommended to her, I said, you know what? You need to go get a regular job. So one, you don't ever make the mistake of rushing things and just hustling for money. Taking on side jobs or rushing friends or random clients onto the chair so you can just make a little bit of money. Also, the most important part, honestly, is so you understand that the worst day in the shop is better than the best day in a cubicle or in a retail job or working in food service, delivering food to somebody else. Like, the worst day at the shop is better than the best day in any one of those places. And that's something that resonated with me and something that I kept and something that I pass on to all the other artists that I work with. Whenever they're having a bad day, I just say, did you work doing anything else before this? How old are you? How old were when you were started? You're super frustrated at life right now. Like, were you locked up for a while? Is being out here being stressed out better than being in there and being stressed out? So, which way do you want to, how do you want to take this? Which way do you want to go? So.
Do you feel like there's more bigger personalities now in the business than there used to be, or do you think it's kind of the same? Because I know there's like a lot of Instagram generation now.
Well, that's the thing is, social media has changed everything. So it would be silly to think that it wouldn't have changed tattooing as well. Like, before you had to rely on magazines and what magazines presented. And then what little you were able to find on the internet, and you see these guys like these giants that that basically modern tattooing was founded on. They're the ones that everyone knew. There was only like 20, 30 top names that you knew of. Black and gray guys, color guys, American traditional guys. But now information's in your fingertips. Now you can search hashtags. You can search and just start looking at all these hitters, all these super, super heavy hitters. Some of them that have only been around tattooing for 5-6 years. Some of them have been tattooing for 20 years and you didn't know before. And you research a little bit more and you go, oh, this person worked with this person worked with that person, or these people work together. So the information age, cheesy to say, but the information age and having technology and having a search engine in our pockets really has changed everything. It's also changed tattooing itself. Some will say for the better, some will say for the worse. There are pluses and minuses to everything, especially when you're able to progress and you're able to see and be influenced that deep and that fast, and that vast. there are positives. There's always going to be positives and negatives. So, and I can go into a whole different segments of, tattooing when I first started to tattooing, how it is now, and how social media has evolved the industry for positive and for the negative. I think that's for a whole another segment.
Let's see. So let's kind of wind down. What are some upcoming projects for you?
More right now, because of the holidays coming up, I'm just buckling at my home shop. I just have a lot of larger projects, a lot of Disney stuff that I did. I really really enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of back pieces, and then we have another art. And as far as outside of tattooing, we have another art show that we're going to be putting together for spring of next year. And I will divulge with you the information as far as the theme is concerned. It's a good one.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a secret, though?
So far, yeah. We haven't announced it yet. So, no, it's good. It's good. I'll tell you off air.
That'll be good reason for people to follow you on Instagram and follow the website there.
Absolutely. Nathan's Tattoos and Piercings, and mine is Art of Marco Antonio.
And remind people that there are other artists there as well, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are 6 of us.
Okay.
There's 6 artists at Nathan's. We're all a little bit different from each other, and we work as a cohesive unit. So when you come to us, depending on what you want, you're going to be funneled towards the artist that is best suited for the style that you're looking for. That way, you're going to get, honestly, the best tattoo possible. Just because, I don't like doing American traditional or Japanese work. So if people come up and be like, "Hey, can you do the Sailor Jerry thing?" No, but my friend Sean over here, or my friend Javier, can knock that out of the park for you. I'd rather have you get the best.
And in case that wasn't clear, Disney's like your main jam. You do everything.
If you look at, it's interesting because if you look, and again, just going back to the way I came up, I came from a black and gray artist and a more traditional artist as far as color work is concerned. So I do a bit of everything, but like my passion, my main thing is just I grew up on American animation. Being from Venezuela, I used to like the original Disney, shorts and those were being played, and it that was my childhood. It just kind of resonated with me. So as I progressed in my tattooing career, I did a bunch of other things and a bunch of different styles, new school, new traditional for a little bit. It's kind of always expanding, always evolving as an artist. But man, it just came back to my little child happy place, And it sounds cheesy because I'm an over 40-year-old guy, big guy, so stuff like, oh man, it's just funny you're doing Disney stuff. I'm like, well, I really. That's what I grew up on, man. I grew up watching those old, Merry Melodies, and the old school Warner Brother, cartoons. So if I have the opportunity to, and people are into it, and people want to get that on their body, it's like, why not? It's like, if I can make you happy, that's something that you really want to represent, something that you really want, and it makes me happy to actually do it. And it takes me back a little bit to when I was young and how excited I was to see, all these cartoons and all these movies coming out. Then, I mean, why not share that experience with somebody? You come to me, it's like, and that's what you want. That's awesome. I'm gonna talk your ear off about, did you know this little fact about this movie? Did you know that Toy Story 2 was actually supposed to be a straight to DVD release, and then it wound up, being too good for that? Blah, blah. It's like all those little tidbits, and and you'll find me at Disneyland like every third Sunday with my wife. So yeah.
Well, remind us where they can find you, Marco.
I am everywhere.
I am eminent.
I am all that is. No, I'm at Nathan's Tattoos and Piercings in Canoga Park.
Your Instagram that they can follow?
Art of Marco Antonio.
And there's also the website, nathanstattoo.com, if they want to check that out. Again, he's Marco Antonio from Nathan's Tattoo and Piercings. For more information, you can go to kpcradio.com. Coming up next on our show, we have Marv returning from Needle Pushers. I want to thank you all for listening.
Oh, I love that.
I'm Anthony Sanchez.